everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So for today's lesson, we will going to discuss about microbial diversity. In our previous discussion, we already know what is microorganism or microbes. They are the smallest form of life and they are too small to be seen by our naked eye. So this time, we're going to tackle about microbial diversity. When you first hear the word microbial diversity, what comes first in your mind? In biology, diversity is defined as the variation of life form present in different ecosystems, specifically termed as biodiversity. Biodiversity is usually discussed in terms of large organisms, but no organisms are more ubiquitous, abundant, or diverse than microorganisms. Microorganisms were the first cellular life forms and were active more than 3 billion years before the appearance of macroorganisms. They are composed of different types and divided into those that are truly cellular, such as bacteria, archaea, fungi, protozoa, and algae, and to those that are acellular, such as viruses, virions, and prions. And cellular was also subdivided into two domains. They are prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are bacteria and archaea, and eukaryotes are protozoa, fungi, and algae. The different microbe is distinguished by their differing characteristics of cellular metabolism, morphology, and genomic structure. The diversity of microbial morphology in prokaryotes. Bacterial cell shape is determined primarily by a protein called mReb, form a spiral band, a simple cytoskeleton. Most bacteria come in one of the basic coccus, rod, or bacillus, and spiral. Coccus or the cocci are spherical or oval bacteria having one of several distinct arrangements. Coccus contain one spherical. Diplococci contain two spherical. And Staphylococci contain 8 spherical. And then Streptococci contains 6 spherical. This diagram shows a strep throat is caused by cocci and Streptococcus pneumonia is caused by Diplococcus. Size of cocci bacteria is range from 0.5 to 3 micrometer. Next is bacillus or bacilli bacteria. Bacterial cells that are rod-shaped and resemble as a pill. Anthrax is caused by Bacillus anthracis. And the last one is spiral bacteria. They have twisted or helical morphology that resemble little corkscrew, and they may appear as a curved rods called vibrous, a spirilla or spirochetes. Example of this is gastritis, which is caused by Helicobacterial pylori, is spiral-shaped bacteria. Bacteria have gram-positive and gram-negative. Gram-positive bacteria have complex cell wall. They have no outer membrane, thick 50-ligand layer, and they have certain surface appendages which they have flagella to help them move. While gram-negative bacteria have cell envelope which are composed of in 50-glycan, and they have outer membrane. Next, let's also talk about the morphology of eukaryotic. Do the eukaryotic cells have different shapes, size, and physiology, but all the cells are typically composed of plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and its organelle, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, Golgi complex, and a true nucleus. Cell shapes are almost as numerous as cell type. There is no typically shape. The cells of certain unicellular form, such as amoeba, diatoms, Acylabularia, and bacteria, exhibit a number of shapes. But generally, the cells are rounded or spherical. Besides this, the cells like oval, cuboidal, cylindrical, flat, discoidal, polygonal, etc. And the last one is the morphology of viruses. Viruses of all shapes and sizes consist of a nucleic acid core, such as DNA or RNA, an outer protein coating, or also called as capsid, and sometimes an outer envelope. Viruses come in many shapes and sizes, but these are consistent and distinct for each viral family. In general, the shape of viruses are classified into 4 groups, including filamentous, isometric or icosahedral, envelope, and head and tail. Filamentous viruses are long cylindrical. Many plant viruses are filamentous, including tobacco mosaic virus. In general, the shapes of viruses are classified into 4 groups, including filamentous, isometric or icosahedral, envelope, and head and tail. Filamentous viruses are long cylindrical. Many plant viruses are filamentous, including tobacco mosaic virus. Isometric or icosahedral viruses have shapes that are roughly spherical, such as poliovirus or herpes viruses. Envelope viruses have membrane surrounding capsid. For example, in animal viruses such as HIV are frequently enveloped. The last is the head and tail viruses. They infect bacteria. They have head that is similar to isometric viruses and a tail shape like filamentous viruses. Overall, the shape of the virus and the presence of an envelope tells us little about what disease that virus may cause or what species it might infect. But they are still used as a means to begin viral classification. Sige. Among the most complex virus is an example of non-enveloped animal virus which infects respiratory illness in humans. Uses glycoproteins to attach to host cells. The viruses used to attach non-enveloped viruses also include those that cause polio or poliovirus, plantar warts or papillomavirus, and hepatitis A or hepatitis A virus. So now, let's proceed to diversity of microbial metabolism. Metabolism refers to all biochemical reactions that occur in a cell or organism. Microorganisms have great metabolic diversity. It's due to highly variable environments that microbes evolve in diverse way of obtaining energy and matter for growth. Most microorganisms obtain their energy from the nutrients they take into the cell. For microorganisms, these nutrients may come from either anorganic or inorganic sources. As you can see in this diagram, there are 2 energy sources that are used in all organisms, or that are used by all organisms. Phototropes use or obtain energy from light, and chemotropes use chemical as their source of energy. Under chemotroph, heterotroph and lithotroph. Heterotroph obtain energy from organic compound and lithotroph obtain energy from inorganic compound. And in heterotroph, there is anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration requires no oxygen, and for example of this is bacteria, while aerobic respiration requires oxygen, and most of them are bacteria and fungi. The last part of this topic is the diversity of microbial genomic structure. So what is genome? Genome or genotype is the genetic makeup of the cell. The core of genome is the complement of the genes that make up all species. Genes or DNA encoded all the information needed for all structure and metabolism. The DNA or genes encoded DNA sequence of genes and genomes displays great diversity among microorganisms. Genomes contain relatedness and contain information related to different species.